It was good and guys, Kamenkins here. This is gonna be yet another long and boring video. So, I'm doing this things from time to time when I do realize something, and this is the exact moment actually. So, if you've been subscribed to Kamenkins channel for quite a bit of time, you probably doubt what is the channel is all about basically, because so many topics has been covered already, like starting from web scraping and ending up with retro computing and retro programming, and that's really just the two kind of like parts, like from and to, and in between there is a whole lot of different things like recasting engine, for instance, in Python or in JavaScript, or many other things as well. And once I've heard and I saying that not multi-talented, but unfocused. So is Code Monkey unfocused or multi-talented? Well, I think that neither is the correct answer, because in order to get a bit more clear about what is this all about and why exactly the channel is going like that, you need to know the main thing, basically, that this channel is reflecting my path as a developer, as a human being, basically. So I started I wanted to start freelancing back in the day, and I was thinking go into the market like everyone do and go being competitive is definitely not the way to go for me. So I try to stand out, and my web scraping videos were the way how I was trying to stand out. And despite the fact many love those, I personally didn't, because I don't know, but for me personally, that didn't really make sense, because when you just really going into that, I was never satisfied with the quality of the eventual job being done. So probably, yeah, that's one of the major reasons why I dropped that once. So yeah, and then it just happened that the Kumaki Games channel actually has got 1,000 subscribers, and I was thinking okay, yes, so now I'm gonna be a full-time YouTuber, so I'm gonna be making videos about whatever I want and try to monetize those and be and yeah, that's just. But that wasn't the case either. So when I started that, it turned out that surprisingly, well, probably it's not surprising to most of you, but for me, that was a surprise, really. So surprisingly, if you're doing some hobby-related stuff videos, so some videos in regards to what is your hobby at some point, even if it's not. But anyway, so by saying hobby, I mean something not professional. In that case, it actually loses already in terms of views. So yeah, just to give you an idea, today, or no, yesterday I just found a channel where the guy, a British guy of about, I don't know, it's hard to see, his face is not shown there, but when you hear his voice, it's about I don't know, maybe 20 years older than I am, so it's solid age, really. And he was making tons of VIC-20 programming videos, and I was so excited by watching those videos, and not even because he was doing something that something out of this world or outstanding, but he was doing this with the spirit of that time. And I realized that even if I do something similar, it may be better in terms of content, more complicated programs, maybe just more didactic explanations, but there won't be that spirit, because I wasn't living at that time. I didn't even born when the Commodore VIC-20 was out, for instance. I'm not even talking about a KM1, right? So when you see the person from that time is doing that sort of videos, it's really inspiring. And I decided, okay, I just would follow those videos, and I would just learn for myself. And I just need to admit that all this retro computing stuff is just my hobby. So trying to make that professional of some sort doesn't really seem to make sense to me personally, because no one was really interested. And the main thing in regards to that guy is that guy basically, He has 619, if I'm not mistaken, subscribers. I subscribe to his channel as well. And he was doing this for about, I don't want to lie, but for about 5 years or so, or maybe 6 years. So that was a solid amount of time. This is a solid period of time he was doing this within. And still, the most viewed videos is somewhere around 4K views for 6 years or 4 years. So it doesn't matter. It's just incomparably miserable if compared with some professional like stuff. I'm not even talking about the trending stuff on YouTube. That's a completely different story. So the summary here is very simple. I've realized that basically, if you're doing this hobby stuff videos, no matter if this is like in computers, I believe that in other directions that's really similar. So if you're doing this non-professional but hobby oriented content, it's really appreciated for those like 1 or 2 persons who would love to see that content like I did, for instance. But that doesn't really help a person who's making that content to make money on that enough for paying the bills. And that's one of the major issues basically. So I thought, okay, so maybe if I do some not really like professional stuff on this channel, then okay, I have chess programming channel. So on chess programming channel I can do like more more professional looking content. Still not professional, because whatever I do is all about being didactic and clear and self-explanatory. So just trying to make things simple instead of like best practices, right? So I was betting the chess programming. I thought that the chess programming would gonna be just exactly what I need, but after being monetized for about 2 months or so, it just goes from $15 per month to maybe $20 per month. With all that amount of content. So like if in case, for instance, with this retro computer and retro programming tutorials, I'm not the guy from that time, right? But with the chess programming, I got really lots of feedback saying that my channel is one of the best, or even the best resource on chess programming. I mean, not the Comic Kings, but the chess programming channel. Well, it's arguable, but what you can really be sure about, that chess programming is the only channel on YouTube that I know, basically, because there is some fantastic and legendary series like Programming Chess Engine in C by Blue Fever Software, whose name is Richard Olberg, by the way, for those of you who didn't know. But then he started making some trending things like you just better check that channel. It's not really about chess programming any longer. So he tried various things like gaming a little bit, like Python business programming and things like that. So really a wide range of topics. But anyway, so at the moment, probably my chess programming channel is really like a dedicated community of slightly more than 1K of subscribers. I'm sorry, I'm just feel a little bit sick here, but I'm feeling much better now. So sorry, just hold on a sec. So I'm not ever about to be, like trying to be the best in something, but let's consider, even if what I do on chess programming, for instance, is really the best thing available, as lots of subscribers are actually mentioning in the commentaries, which I really doubt, but well, you the judge, guys. It's better for you to know this, to see this from the outside. So let's assume that my chess programming channel is the best resource on the internet, for that particular topic. And well, at very least, I have more than 10 people that has been following my 95 video series on programming a Bitboard chess engine in C from the beginning and to the end, ended up with their own engines, posting them, sending them to me, posting them on Talk Chess. So that is something that I couldn't even be dreaming about when I was just doing that, right? And now I might be wondering, like, okay, so that's exactly what I was going for, what I was looking for. So it's about 1 year and a half, yeah, somewhere around 1 year and 6 months, around maybe a little less, has been since I started my chess programming channel, and the result is really more than just satisfying, I would say. But I thought that I wouldn't be able to make some money from that. That wasn't the case really, because even now, with this new YouTube policy, so you really need to upload new content all of the time, because otherwise your income is just dropping down, 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 down. If you don't upload the content for, I don't know, for a month, so the income is dropping significantly. And I'm not sure what happens if you stop uploading the content, but probably just it would only be, your content would probably only be searched or watched if via the direct search. I think that's the only case basically. So yeah, not an option really. So yeah, if we just summarize all I just said in a couple of sentences, that I may say that doing full-time YouTube like I did for about a year only makes sense if you're doing not what you up with, not what you like, but if you're doing somewhat, I'm not even talking about the trending topics, but let's say some sort of a professional related topic. So being like professional content for, I believe, for whatever basically. But yeah, so that's probably the case. Well, at least in my case, that's the case. So yeah. So because of the fact that the way I did this to the way I've been maintaining because of the way I've been maintaining these two channels for all of the time they exist, it didn't actually, because it didn't really give me what I was expecting from it in terms of income. I realized that basically it's not worth of time and effort, because because YouTube actually turns into exactly the same job as you would be doing as a freelancer, for instance. So the core idea, you're forced to do not what you're interested in, not what you rock with currently, but you're forced to do something that the major the major like bunch actually wants to watch at some point. So that's still not trending, but anyway, in general. So in simple words, you can't do what you want, you can't do what you like, or you can, but you're not gonna be paid for that. That's pretty the entire thought. So you have to do something that someone is interested in, and that's another type of service. Basically, that's another type of service. And that was one of the most disappointing things for me on YouTube for all the time I've been doing this. But well, since currently this is the major thing I'm doing. I don't say this is the only thing I'm doing. For instance, recently I had a couple of freelancing projects, and yeah, that allowed me to buy this new smartphone that I'm using now to record this video. It's fairly miserable, like, in terms of, it's around $100, no more, but it's much better than the one that I had. But the one that I had was hardly could be hardly charged within the last year and a half, for instance. So when you plug in the cable, it just doesn't even go into there, just like this, and then it hardly touched the pin to actually start charging. Yeah, so I was okay with that, but yeah, one day it just broke completely, and there was no connection. So yeah, I was actually forced to buy a new one. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing this. So yeah, and like the amount of earned money when you're doing something for a client is incomparably bigger, as opposed to what you're doing to like what I've been doing on YouTube. So just to give you the concrete numbers. So with these two channels, I've never reached more than $70 per month, which is really miserable. And with that client, I made two scrapers, $100 for each. So there was one week. I spent around a day for it, maybe a day and a half, and then another day for another scraper. So 2 days, 2.5 days, $200. Still not much, but much better than $70 per month. And that, but in that case, I was doing something that I was completely not interested in, and that was the web scraping that I hate so much because but for some reason, people and clients, for instance, think that I'm good in web scraping. I don't think so, but yeah, that was the ugly truth about this. So currently, I'm thinking about let's call it a sort of a compromise. Maybe a sort of a compromise. So as far as YouTube doesn't really allow you to do what you want if you want to get paid for it. And as far as I don't really like to work with clients directly at the time show because that's too limiting basically. So probably I don't want that. I really don't want that. But it seems like I have no choice other but go into some sort of a professional programming related content. At this particular moment, I can't say exactly what is that going to be, but just to give you a highlight of what I'm thinking about. So for instance, one of the scrapers I've been doing recently was a Pinterest scraper. So the purpose was to download the images. And if you try to do this traditional way, it just doesn't work because lots of anti-scraping measures, the APIs are protected, so it's really hard to do something there. So I was using the alternate approach and in-browser data extraction, and I think this in-browser data extraction is actually the future of web scraping because I believe that the day when the web scraping would be claimed to be illegal is about to come in the next few years because data is really exactly the same as money nowadays. So yeah. But the trick I did was extremely simple. I believe this was legal and that was really elegant, I would say. So I've written a simple script that was based on my WebGrabber Chrome extension that I've been promoting back in the day, a long time ago. But WebGrabber could only snapshot what you currently see on the webpage and didn't support the infinite scrolling. And because it's really hard, you may be wondering why there is no generalized web scraping software. Well, that's because the content is really not structured. It's every website may take the content into completely in its own way. So we want to organize the content like this, and we want to organize the content like that. So everyone does what he wants, hence it's really hard to have a unified web scraping software to deal with that. But the web browser, Chrome and Firefox is released, so they have this developer tools, which is extremely helpful thing, and you can just automate really lots of things within that developer tools console. So what I did, I've written a simple script that actually scrolls up the screen, and meanwhile it does automatically fetch all the images, all the pins from the API. You're not getting banned because this is legal. It's just like as if you have been scrolling this with your mouse. So nothing wrong here, and the speed can be right. So yeah, so that's kind of okay. The site is not stopping you, not giving you captures, so things like that. And another quite challenging thing I've encountered is that, well, usually when you have the infinite scroll page, the content scrolls, and whatever gets appended actually becomes the part of the document object, this known as the DOM in HTML in JavaScript. So the DOM object is not actually get appended with this new content. It's just like a frame that really, what you see on the screen is really what happens with the DOM object. So it at the time it only contains a part of the data. So just somehow it erases the data that is not currently in the scope of the window, right? So it erases that, and then when you scroll down, even though it happens automatically, it just gets the new data in, and this new data gets appended to the document. And then there is the trick. So I've written a simple script in JavaScript that actually converts the DOM object into an HTML string of some sort. And then it's looking for the images within that string. So it's sort of a manual parsing, basically. And once it has found the proper element to search for, it just extracts that and appends to the set, not to the list, but to the set in order to avoid the duplications. And that's the core thing, by the way. So you just scroll by some amount of content every time period, and the DOM object is getting updated. Then you convert this to HTML, and then you extract all the image links from there, and only those image links that are unique to the set that we're storing it into are getting appended. The rest of links are just being skipped automatically. And eventually this allowed me to get more than 10,000 of the URL links per a single request for it. So let's say the keywords, we're searching for some sort of keywords on Pinterest. So searching like for facade building, for building facades, for instance, what I've been searching for. And there we have like 10,000 of URLs. And then we can just write that simple Python script to crawl through all of those URLs and download the images, store them to the folder, and the client is happy. So yeah, that's pretty much all about it. And quite an interesting thing that probably $100 is a bit too much for this job, but as I've been explaining why that cost that money, that's not because of the code, because the amount of code was really miserable. It's just like a page of code, maybe, like really miserable amount of code. But what costs actually those money is to think the way that would allow you to come up with this sort of a solution, because programming is all about solving the problems, right? So this solution actually costs the money. So just need to figure out, you need to invent this to reinvent the wheel at some point. So how to do this, how to trick the browser, how to trick the website, and how to bypass all of these measures in that elegant way. And yeah, it does the trick. It has limitations. You won't be able to run this on the AWS web server, for instance. It doesn't support the full automation, but it does the trick. It actually does exactly what it has been asked for. Just download all the images, all the image links, and then all the images per the given keywords on Pinterest. So that's just an example. So that's what I'm calling like professional programming related content. So unfortunately, something the most boring for me, basically, but it has benefits. So it has the benefit of being watched more, yeah, and it has a benefit of being useful for other people, and yeah, whatever is useful to other people is getting more views. Yeah, I say this as if this was sort of news for me. It sounds really like, it sounds like, it sounds okay, it sounds natural, really natural, but it's not really that natural for me. I don't know, just I don't like how the world operates. I think that's all just kind of a bit wrong. But yeah, probably there is just something wrong within my own self. So I made this video more probably for reference. So I already see all those questions in the commentaries. Are you going to be back to web scraping? No, I'm not. Because the web scraping, as you get used to that, is dying. There is no like sense to keep maintaining that. It still might be working in some limited environments for some websites, but generally, in the world where the data equals money, it's no longer on the cards, really, and only poor companies not yet spending money for the scraping measures, but they will get richer and they will start protecting their data. So if you're doing web scraping, most likely you're doomed, because just it's like stealing data is nowadays is almost like stealing money. So if you just try to hack to the bank and try to get some money from someone's card, that's definitely considered to be a criminal, right? But you might wonder, if I just take some data from the website, it's okay. No, it's not. Nowadays, it's not really. So I'm not sure, but maybe this kind of in browser like hacks, at least at the moment, they should not be treated as some illegal options, and not even violating the terms and policies of a certain given website, because it's not really crawling, because you just do something in the browser. It's hard to distinguish whether you did doing this by scrolling your mouth or just automating the scroll bar. For instance, that's just an example, but that at least does have sort of a sense to me at the moment, because you actually can get a sort of a stable result in that case. Okay, guys. So I think this is it from my side for now. So yeah, this video was boring, definitely, but wasn't that long as I've been expecting it to be. So yeah, that's good. Okay, so this is it from my side. I have no idea what kind of content am I gonna be doing next, but since it's my only job for now, I would need to reinvent something again. So we'll see. This is it from my side. Thanks for watching. Until the next time, and take care.